you are. Y'all beat me here. Well, now since you're here, what do you guys think? Hello plant community, thanks for tuning into this channel. If you're new here guys, welcome. My name is Pam, and from the intro that you guys just seen, you know what time it is. It's time for me to show you the collection of all my plant babies in this beautiful sunroom. So I want you to actually go and get your favorite beverage, possibly a snack. Sit back and enjoy. Okay guys, so the first plant is this air plant that I have right here. It's called the Tillandsia, I believe. It's not that spectacular in regards to the growth, and I think I've been skipping the watering regimen for this plant, and it's suffering a little bit because some of the spikes is starting to dry out. So I need to up my water game a little bit with this. But anyway, I have it in this open terrarium, and it's sitting here receiving light from my southeast facing window. And by the way, you guys, the window directions that I have in my sunroom is southeast on this side, and across from me is southwest facing windows, just to give you guys an idea. But the next plant right here is my beautiful long trailing Philodendron Hope, and I love it so. It was vigorously growing for me as always, to the point where I had to put it up on this beautiful trellis that I made, and it's still coming down. I mean, it just hasn't stopped growing. I think it gave it a nice, cool design. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I think it's pretty cool. My next plant right here is my beautiful, for those of you that watched my Hoya share with you guys, this is this beautiful Hoya Kentiana, and I love it so. It's so full on top, and of course, I'm a sucker for this plant because of the elongated leaves and then the black edgings around it. The tips, I think, is very beautiful. Now down below, you guys, is my beautiful Monstera deliciosa. Recently, I've been battling a little bit with it. It had spider mites about a few weeks back, and I've treated it so far. I've kept a watchful eye on this plant. This is the reason, you guys, why the plant leaf looks like this. So you see this fading away, this is an indicator that it's being attacked by some form of a pest, so you might want to check your plant. Now, it really hasn't been growing too much, and I'm going to show you guys why, but I did notice, look at this. Today, you guys, it just started to give me a shoot right here. Very beautiful, so I'm excited about that. But the reason why it hasn't been really giving me that much growth, you guys, is because it's been focusing on these crazy roots. And if you guys can see, look at it. It's on the floor, and it's actually starting to bend. So if y'all have any suggestions of what I can do about this, because I really can't up it anymore, should I cut back some of the roots? Is it okay to cut the roots? I really don't know. But I love it. It's cool. Y'all let me know. And while we're down here, let me show you guys this being hidden by my Monstera. It's this beautiful Dracaena. It's very beautiful. I'm not sure what variety it is. I don't know if this is a song of something, but I got it because of the dark green and that light green and the creaminess that's in the center. Very beautiful. Our next plant, you guys, will be the string of turtles, the Peperomia prostrata, I believe, which is a very beautiful plant. I kind of moved it right here because if you can see, it was in my southwest facing window side, and it was giving me a lot of growth, but the leaves or the shells are starting to become a little bit chlorotic, so I think it's getting a little bit too much sun. So I kind of put it over here behind this wall where it can get a little bit of maybe some bright, not so much direct light. I don't know, it hasn't changed on me, so I'm just gonna leave it here for now and keep a watchful eye. Now, this plant, you guys, another Hoya. If you watched that Hoya haul, you've seen this beautiful plant, which is the, I think, Macrophylla. I hope I'm saying that right, you guys. I'm gonna try my best with these names as I go through these plants. But if you remember, I was talking about these blooms right here, and it's just starting to open. It's doing different things. It'll give me a bloom, but then it'll fall off and not open up, or some will open, some will stay closed. But I am admiring for the little bit of blooms that it is giving. It's very beautiful. I love the plant so much. Next here is my beautiful Bonnie spider plant. I just love the way this plant curls, and it's such a cool feature of how it self-propagates itself and give you these shoots. Let me see, what is this? Is that? Okay, that's a little bit of dusting I need to do, you guys, but look how green it is. And I've cut a few off and gave to friends, and it's still coming with a vengeance. And I just love it so much. It's very beautiful. I think it looks gorgeous hanging on this trellis. My next plant right beside it, unfortunately, is another Bonnie spider plant. It looks almost like night and day in comparison, but I'm not going to tell you guys where I got it from because I don't want to put any shade, so to speak, on a plant vendor. But I brought it online 2 separate places, but it's not really giving me that much growth. And it seems like it's taking too much sun, which is weird. It's right here. But the leaves is burning up. I just don't know. I don't have that much, I guess, confidence for this plant, but I do love the way that it's hanging over this planter. Down here is another one. I've been on this Dracaena kick, you guys, where this is, I believe, Song of India. I'm not sure, but I'm just so, it has 3 plants in here, and I got it at a great deal. I think I got it somewhere at Lowe's. I can't really remember, but this thing was probably like $15 or something like that. So beautiful. So it has 3 plants, and I just can't wait for it to grow up for the tree that it's known to be. Up here, you guys, is another Hoya, my Hoya Crimson Princess. This thing has been a vigorous grower. It's on a trellis. It's hanging on a trellis, and I have it wrapped. It's been so long. I've actually had it wrapped around a few times. If I was to let it go, it would be trailing down to the floor. Okay, so we're gonna start from the bottom and work our way up this beautiful plant stand that I have. Right here is my Calathea leucanera, or I'm sorry, my Maranta leucanera, the prayer plant. This plant, the variegata version, this plant is very beautiful, as you can see. I skipped the watering, you guys. I forgot a couple of times, and you know, with Marantas, they're not very forgiving with the miswatering. So this right here, this is the reason why you see the leaves actually crisp up like that. I forgot to water it. Let me see, I can just take that off. But anyway, got one. Right here beside it is my Philodendron Emerald Green. This hasn't really been doing that much growth for me, but I still love it. It's a very beautiful plant. Beside this one is also my Maranta, the leucanera, the non-variegated version. I was having some struggles where I lost some lower leaves, but it's making a comeback slowly but surely. I've been just keeping an eye on it, making sure it's not being attacked by any pest. Now over here, this right here, you guys, is I want to say a propagation on my Rhaphidophora, what's they call it, the dragon's tail. I have the mother plant inside that's been kind of like, I don't know, I haven't been really liking the growth pattern, but I took a snippet of it and put it in this pot, and so far it's just giving me this leaf, so it's still juvenile because it hasn't started splitting yet. Right here, I actually have, this is a Hoya. This is my Hoya Finlaysonii, and I love the venation in the plant. It gives me that Hoya calistophylla vibe with the veination, but it's a darker hue and it's just a beautiful plant. It hasn't given me any leaves, but it has been shooting out these tendrils, so I'm excited to see that it will grow probably the next growing season. Right here is my Hoya Finlaysonii. No, I just said Finlaysonii. No, which one is this? Oh, this is my fungi. That's why it's always good to have these tags, you guys. I can't remember the names of the plants all the time, but I just love it. Look at the leaves. This is another one that gives me that Calistophala vibe. It's a little lighter in contrast to the Finlaysonii, but this plant is beautiful. It has been growing. It's very full, you guys. Just check it out. Have it on this makeshift trellis, and it's just been growing wild, and I've been wrapping it around. Very beautiful plant. Behind it or beside it, that's being covered by the majority of these, is my, this is just a regular aloe vera plant. I just recently got it. I may have had it in my collection for 2 months. I had one before, you guys, and killed it, so now I'm trying my second round with this thing to see if I can have it survive. I've learned the lesson of not overwatering this plant. Now here, you guys, right here, these two plants is just more or less a replica of each other. This is the Tradescantia Nanook. And believe it or not, this wild section right here is actually a cutting from the mother plant that's right here. Now, I'm not sure. It might be getting a little bit too much light, and that's why the leaf tips are crispy. Not sure, but I still love, look at that back. Them backs, you guys, you know I'm a sucker about the backs. So, yes, I'm glad I have it in my collection. My next plant, you guys, this was one that I've been struggling with recently. If you've been watching my channel, you'll know that I made a mention of this plant having spider mites, and I've been treating it and keeping it a watchful eye and constantly treating it, but it's trying to make a heavy comeback, you guys, because look, croton. My Petra croton is blooming, you guys. Look at that. So I know for a fact that what I'm doing is fine. The plant is happy, and it will give me the full lush leaves that it had in the past. And this is one of my oldest plants. I've had it for about 2 years now, almost going on 3 now. And look, this is the beginning stages, you guys, of the bloom. It has like these little berry balls, and then the balls will burst and actually turn into this fuzzy little flower. So I have this one that's actually bloomed. This one is starting to produce, as well as this right here. So I'm telling you, for those of you who say, okay, for people that say you can't grow crotons in your home, trust me, you can grow them in your home. The key is bright light. And since I have it sitting here in my southeast facing window, it's getting nothing but that. Mixed with the humidity, is very humid environment in here. This plant loves it. If you're able to duplicate that, this plant will thrive for you in your environment. So please give it a try. Now my next one up here is also a Hoya, my Hoya Crinkle 8. I am in awe of this plant, you guys, for the simple fact of the crinkling of the leaves. Look at it, the texture, the dimples that's on the back. I'm not sure if the camera's going to pick it up, but it's absolutely gorgeous. I haven't had it for a year yet. I'm excited to actually see a full trail of this plant just going wild, hanging down. I'm gonna bring you guys down here. I can't I can't place the spotlight on this plant enough. Y'all know I've probably shown you this plant to death, but this is my Pyalea coral, coral, I believe. Pyalea grandifolia coral variety. And this plant, you guys, look at these blooms. Aren't they gorgeous? They start off with these ball clusters, and then over time, they will open up and expand like this. Gives me that baby breaths look. And if you like baby breaths, you know, you will really like this plant. This thing is huge, you guys. I had to tie it down because if I didn't, it would actually probably be like 3 feet wide. It's almost similar in the width as it is in the height. This thing is a thirsty plant, though. You gotta keep it watered. It will drop its leaves if you don't keep it watered, but it loves it. I love the funky, wild growth that it's been giving me continuously, nonstop. Now, right here, you guys, below, I'm gonna start on this floor. And I'm sorry, you know, my channel is about full disclosure. I'm gonna show you beautiful okay, sad, and then hot mess, if you want to. And speaking of hot messes, let me show. This is my goldfish plant, you guys. It looks sad. And it looks sad because it was actually my fault. I hung this in the window on my southwest side, and as you can see, I fried the darn thing. So poor baby, I just put it down here on the floor and trying to let it recuperate. I need to give it an IV so to maintain the moisture. But it's hanging in there. This one right here is my beautiful Hoya gem. I love it because of that sharp heart-shaped leaf. And it's so big in comparison to my hand. This is also a very thirsty plant. You gotta be up on your watering with that. But behind here is my beautiful ZZ plant that's made a comeback. This plant I've almost killed, you guys. And actually all the stalks that you see right here are pretty much new growth. It's just been chilling back here. I just be mindful of not to water it that much, and it's doing fine. Here is my Hoya Hindu rope. Slow grow out of my collection, of course, as Hindu ropes are known to be. And it's time for me to give it a drink, you guys. When you start seeing your Hindu rope having this wrinkle like this, it definitely needs some water. Down below right here is my beautiful Hoya curtsy eye. I love the leaves. It's so hard like cardboard, but look at that speckling. Stunning. Over here, this is also another Hoya, and this is my Selby one. If you watch my Danger Zone video, if you haven't, please check it out. But this is one of the plants that I featured. It's slowly but surely making a comeback because I did make some changes to this plant, and it tends to like it. This is a dry leaf. I'll have to get to that later. Now above, let's start over here. My beautiful, here we go again, guys. Another brain fog trying to figure out what the heck this plant is. But this is my ficus ruby. Really hasn't been giving me too much growth this growing season. It's giving me just this leaf, which is very beautiful. I don't know. Very beautiful. And it's just been stuck in these stalks right here. I'm wondering if I should pinch it to kind of reactivate it. But if I do, I probably will wait till the next growing season. Right here, you guys, is a baby version of the ruby, and I just love it. It's so beautiful, so cute, and the beautiful redness hues. It's really been showing off for me this growing season and put out a lot of leaves. Right here is a propagation of my Hoya macrophylla. Right here, as well as this right here. If you heard my story about why I decided to propagate, came from me breaking a stem off of the mother plant, and here we go. This beautiful plant right here, which I'm glad to have part of my collection, is a Hoya Sunrise. It has a little bit of the sun stressing right here, but even if it gets sun stressed or not, I don't care. I really love this plant, and look at that beautiful small dainty leaf. This is beautiful. Up here is another ficus. It's my green ficus, I believe, rubber plant, and I've had this plant for 2 years now. When I first brought it, it was in a baby 2-inch planter, and look at the beautiful specimen that it's giving me. I'm gonna show you this right here. It stopped growing, and I did pinch it. And when I did do that, it activated these 3 leaves right here, as well as this new growth. So I'm gonna leave it alone for now. Let it do its thing. Down here in this pot, because when I got it as a 2-inch planter, these plants were attached. And I wanted to separate them initially, but the roots are so intertwined, I just don't want to jeopardize destroying the health of this plant. So I'm just going to have to leave this plant in here. And this is just a baby ruby, ficus ruby. Over here, you guys, is actually another form of a Dracaena. I'm not quite sure what variety it is. This was also in my plant danger zone special. And I was talking about how this plant was declining. And one of my subscribers, thanks, by the way, you know who you are, made a mention that I need to check the root system to see if there was any plugs. And you were right. I checked the root system, and there was actually plugs. I hate those things. I wish it would be a cool feature for these growers to at least put a tag on the plant letting us know that they do have plugs, so that we can at least know to look in the soil and possibly remove them, because they really can help with the declining of your plants. So you might want to check your root system, you guys, if you have any issues and you strongly believe that maybe it's not what you're doing. So I took it out of here, and right now I have it just in this sphagnum moss. I'm just trying to regenerate some real healthy roots. And once it feels strong enough for my liking, I probably will replant it in some soil and make sure it's airy. Now this one right here, let me see if I can pick it up. This is my Sansevieria, my Sansevieria fernwood. This is propagation by separation that I had. I have the mother plant in my home, and it was so full and so lush, I actually divided it, and it's now 3 plants now that I have, and this is one of them that I have in the sunroom. I put one in the sunroom, you guys, because I wanted to do some form of a comparison as far as the growth rate, considering it's sitting right here in front of my southeast facing window versus the one that I have inside my home. Now up here, you guys, is this beautiful peperomia, lemon lime version, I believe. I can't remember, but I think that's it. This thing, as you can see, is very full, very lush. It's been doing nothing but growing. It gave me the flowers, which peperomias are known for, those insignificant shoots, but it's letting me know that it is happy. I water this plant when it's completely dry. It loves sitting in front of this window. I will not change this plant out. Down below here is my beautiful, most cherished Hoya Crimson Queen. I just love this plant so much. It's been, this growing season, it really has been showing, it's fanning, you guys. Been doing nothing but multiple blooms. I have a bloom right here. It hasn't fully opened yet, but this got to be like the 4th time it's bloomed so far, or created peduncles. It hasn't opened yet, but this one over here, you guys, has opened. And isn't that beautiful? It gives off such a nice, beautiful floral scent. And if you have all your Hoyas in one area, you will start smelling the blooms very significantly in your home. Now down here is another Dracaena variety, you guys, and I don't know if it's just getting too much light. I kind of given up on the plant and I'm letting it. You ever have a plant, you guys, where you just be like, oh, I'm just gonna let it slowly die? That's what I'm feeling with this plant. I really don't want it to die, but if it does, so be it. What y'all think? Y'all think I should pull it away from? Maybe it's getting too much intensity of the light. I've just been losing leaves left and right. I just wouldn't know where to put it. So y'all comment below, let me know what would you do for this particular plant. Over here, you guys, is the beautiful, stunning, what is this? It's not the Dark Lord or the Dark Knight. I can't think. It's one dark variety of the Philodendron. And you know I'm a sucker for the dark leaves. I love that so Bloody Mary, like reddish hue color that you see. Is give me autumn vibes. I don't think that the picture on the film is actually going to do its justice as far as the color, you guys. But it's kind of red, but it's so red till it gives it a dark color. Over here, you guys, is my vigorous Hoya Crimson Queen. Another one, as I have a couple of them in my collection that's been dangling down. And I'm going to show you. Oh, see, some of them fell off, but this is the bloom as well. And very beautiful and floral. The dead leaf, yeah, that's the only thing about blooms. When they dry off, they will fall. It can be annoying, but you got to keep up with cleaning them up. This right here is my sad looking string of hearts. You guys, it was declining and declining very fast. Let me see if I can. It was declining very fast, and I kind of wrapped it around because it was producing a whole lot of those tubers. And I put it in the soil, and it's just been giving me nothing but these babies. I don't even know, is it too much light? But I thought the string of hearts were known for wanting that light. I guess I gotta pay attention to the proper way of watering and the light source. But let me show you guys, if you don't know what I mean by tubers. This little ball right here is a tuber. And as you can see, if you take a look, it's actually little baby leaves coming out the tubers. If you were able to put this in a pot of soil, it would produce a whole plant. And so what I kind of did is I wrapped the tubers around. So I don't know. I'm kind of like falling out of love with this plant a little bit, sad to say. My next one is this beautiful Ruby Cascade. This is my second hand in it, you guys. I had one that I had for over a year. It was growing beautifully and it just declined on me. I think I may have overwatered it a little bit. So I've learned my lesson with it. I'm just making sure I don't water this plant until the leaves actually start feeling real thin. You know your plants don't need a watering if you feel the leaves and they feel thick, almost like succulent-like. But once again, look at them backs. Bam! That back is beautiful. I love the red backing of it. And it's so whimsical the way that it's trailing. I can't wait for it to really come down. But since I've had it, I've only brought it in the beginning of the growing season and it's just been shooting off. Beside it is my very beautiful Ruby Cascade. I cannot say enough about this plant. It's absolutely a stunner. It's gorgeous. Look at the dark green pickle shaped like leaves, followed with that beautiful hue of purple stems. It's starting to really take off in the trailing. I know that by the time the next growing season, my goal is to actually have this whole pot just covered with this. Once again, this is a very easy care plant. All you have to do is just wait for the leaves to actually start getting soft and not succulent like. You know it's good to give it a good drink. And for this plant, you guys, since I have it here, hanging here, I just bottom water it and it soaks it up like crazy. Very thirsty plant, but I love it. Let's come down here, you guys. Down here is my beautiful rattlesnake calathea. It's just gorgeous. It's something about me with these backs, man, but I really love the speckling of the color, the contrast of it. And believe it or not, out of all my calatheas, you guys, this is one of the most easiest care calatheas. As you can see, it's not very fussy with the water. I'm using tap water on this and it hasn't given me that much crispiness of the leaves. It's beneath my southwest facing window where it's getting this light, but I guess the light isn't too bad where it's actually burning it. It's not intense enough, so I'm glad. Beautiful plant nonetheless. This right here is my beautiful Hoya Wyetii that's starting to try to trail. Had this plant for about a year and a half or a year now, and it's just starting to come hanging. When I first brought this plant, it's still in this 4-inch planter. It was kind of like at the base of the planter, and it's provided me with this kind of growth, so I'm excited to see. Up here, this plant is actually another Hoya. It's Crimson Princess. As I said, I had about 3 of them. And this one has also started to bloom. This is the bloom. It didn't burst. But the other one right here is also another bloom. I mean, it's gorgeous. I really appreciate it when it does bloom. My next plant over here is my string of pearls. Very beautiful plant, you guys. It is providing me with growth, but I don't think it's a fast-paced grower for me to take a look and be noticing, wow, this plant really has got long. It's a very subtle grower. This plant is also known to grow more frequently in the fall season. So as our other plants go into dormancy, this plant is kind of waking up. Now, of course, you want to keep in mind, you don't start watering this plant until those balls, or peas, as I would call them, starts to look shriveled. And that's a key indicator of it's time to water. Okay, so I'm going to bring you over here. This is also a calathea, you guys, but I thought it was a different type of variety, but this one does not have the purple backings as calatheas are known to have. This one has the green backing. I'm not quite sure. Comment below for me, you guys, and let me know what type of variety this is. But if you look at it, it's very full. You know that this plant needs a drink. It's a little dusty, sorry about that. It will curl. It curls like this. When you start seeing it curl, just give it a drink, give it about an hour or 2, and it'll bounce right back. Over here is my beautiful, let's try to pull it out, my beautiful Maria Aglaonema. Look how full this thing is. And you see where I have it sitting. It's sitting below my table underneath, and it's not even getting light on top of the plant. It's more or less getting lights from the side. And it tends to love it because it's been providing me with nothing but blooms throughout this growing season. These are developing blooms, and this is also a new shoot right here and a new shoot right here. Very beautiful. After a while, the blooms do dry up and they die off, and you can just pull them off, cut them off or whatever. But a lot of people cut them off because they want to stimulate more focus on the plant growth. But really, honestly, with the aglaonemas, I haven't noticed any difference whether I leave them on or cut them off. So could I cut it off? I probably could. Would it make that much of a difference? Probably not. But one last look. Let me know. I think it plays off well in this gold planter with the dark and light green. Very beautiful contrast. Now I have another plant down here below. And this is if y'all watch my propagation by 3 methods for my begonia video. If you haven't, please check it out. I think you'll get a kick out of it. But this is a small plant that has developed from that. Can you believe it? Cuttings, water, and leaves. Beautiful. All of this right here is all of this is a whole new plant. And look at this, you guys. This is cool. This is a leaf. But right in the middle, it shot out this. Isn't that cool? And it's giving me a whole new leaf shoot. I'm telling you, Mother Nature is a beast. You gotta respect it, right? I think you do. But beautiful. I'm about to show you guys the mother plant shortly. Now, before we get to the mother plant, let me just show you this array of what's going on here. This is a Philodendron Congo. And by the way, I thought this was some kind of fungus, but I don't think it is. It's just some kind of leaf spot. And I'm not sure if the Congos is common for having that, but it's still on here. It's a slow grow. I've had this plant for it's been over a year. It's just starting to try to grow, but I see I gotta cut this leaf. I let it dry out significantly, and this is what it's paying me back with, so that's kind of error. If y'all see my Ecuador unboxing, you guys, this is supposed to be an anthurium. I can't remember the variety, and I've been trying my best to save this plant. I don't know what's going on. I have it growing in leca because my thought process was the whole humidity thing and maintaining its moisture. And since I did get this plant in bare root, I just didn't think it would be an issue. I thought I would bring it back, but it didn't come to me in a very good quality to begin with. So I'm not too surprised that it's not doing well. I was really hoping and anticipating that it might do a comeback. I'm not giving up on this plant yet, but I don't know. I just don't see me having it in my collection in the near future. Now right here is my Ficus benjamina. I brought this plant when it was a 2-inch. I've had it for 2 years now. This thing is a very finicky plant. I've lost a lot of the lower leaves because I made a mistake. I had moved the plant, and boy, oh boy, I told you, don't move them. If you have a plant, this plant, and you found a good location, then please leave it there, because if you move it, it will show its patootie and start dropping leaves like hotcakes. So that's a key indicator. They don't like being moved. They like the environment that they're in. Just leave them where they are, especially if they're not declining. Even if it's not giving you a lot of leaves, just be patient and leave it right where it's at. So back down here, you guys, I have this Philodendron pandiforme, and it was declining, but I just wound up putting it in here, and I got a mixture of the little baby Xanadu, and I got a heart leaf, and I got a little scindapsa. So I had like these little small propagations that I did, and I didn't want to put them in baby plants. So I just kind of like, since they all require the same care, just put them all in this terracotta pot. It's cute a little bit. You know, I'm not really, oh my God, I'm not like that with the plant, but it has given me all of this new growth this growing season. Not that spectacular, the leaves are not that big, but it is still growing. I like it. It looks funky. Over here is my pilea, or the money tree. I've been up and down, up and down, up and down, and down and up with this plant, to the point where I had to take it out of the soil, and I'm glad I did. The root system, I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was from me killing it slowly or if it was just slowly dying. I don't know, because the roots didn't look mushy. It just looked like the roots literally deteriorated. So I'm taking what I do have and I put it in sphagnum moss. I'm trying in an effort to build a stronger, robust root system. And then maybe after that, I might put it in some potting soil. I'm not quite sure what I want to do, but So far, I have it in perlite mixture with sphagnum moss, and I took some clear wrap, and I kind of covered it a little bit. My goal was to try to create a little ecosystem for it and see how that does to maintain its moisture. I like it, you know, but it's one of those things. Next right here is just propagation of my Philodendron anglistatum, I believe. I cut the top part off, the top of the plant, and I have it propagating in pumice. So pumice propagation has been extremely successful for me, especially when it comes to philodendrons. They grow strong, robust, and very healthy root systems. So my goal is to root it very well and then put it back in with the mother plant. So over here, you guys, it has an array of plants. I'm gonna start at the bottom and work my way up. This is the mother plant, you guys, that I showed you. One of my fastest growing plants. It does provide me with blooms. You see this little seed right here will eventually give me a bloom. But look at it, it's just so beautiful. And the leaves are so big, it's really just remarkable. This right here is my Ficus Audrey. This plant has seen better days, you guys. It's really nerve-wracking. It's just, I've been losing leaves left and right. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing wrong with the plant. I know it's a little bit more finicky than the other ficus varieties, but y'all comment, please let me know. Share some care tips, I would appreciate it. Beside it, you guys, is my beautiful lemon lime maranta. I love this baby. Look at the blooms. So beautiful and dainty. And it's so full. I'm just going to actually pick it up so y'all can see. It doesn't... Look. Y'all look at that. It is just trailing. So full and so beautiful. And it has this beautiful new growth. It's been constantly growing, and it's been loving this environment. It's been giving me nothing but these beautiful blooms. But it isn't forgiving if you miss a water. And I did. And this is why the leaves look like this. You live and you learn, though. But outside of that, you guys, the plant is beautiful. So now I'm going to work my way up to this top. This is my Hoya Trubiana. Very beautiful leaves. I love it. It gives me that beautiful pepper vibe. Beside it is this gorgeous Hoya Carrii. This is its newest leaf, and the new leaves always are a little bit more flexible than the older leaves. I recently watered it, so it doesn't need a drink. But check it out. Look at that little baby leaf. In a couple of days, you guys, it will look like this. It grows fast once the leaves start to develop. Over here is my Hoya. It's a fuzzy back, and I can't. Hoya australis, that's what it is. The fuzzy back, of course, because the backs are fuzzy. And this one had a peduncle, but nothing ever came out of it, so I don't really, not expecting it to. But look at this little baby leaf, you guys. Look at that dark red hue that it's giving me. And this one has been growing very well, too. It's becoming a little bit top heavy. Behind this is my Hoya incrustata. If you watch my Hoya collection, if you haven't, you guys, I don't know what you're doing, but you need to watch it. And this is the reason why you should watch it, you guys. This is my Hoya incrustata. I love this plant ever so much. The leaves are very strong. I love the darkness, the color of the leaves. I have it on this makeshift trellis, and I think it gives out this funky, deep jungle vibe. I love it. I'm glad I have it part of my collection. Over here beside it is my Zinzi. This is the slow grower variety, the dwarf form of the ZZ plant, but I love it. Glad I have it in my collection. Right here is my beautiful Hoya Lisa. Look at that hue, that pink. It's beautiful, like watercolor, isn't it? I think it's awesome. It's definitely shot up for me. So in the growing season, I'm excited about this plant. Now, I'm going to work my magic somewhere over here. This is my snow, what is it? Snow Queen pothos. Is part of the Marble Queen family type of thing, I believe. But look at it. You see the variegation in this plant. It's just starting to trail for me, guys. And Snow Globe, I believe that's the name of it. But it's gorgeous. You have to give this plant a lot of light if you want it to keep its color. And so far, so good. I mean, just look at it. Absolutely beautiful. Now up here is my beautiful, gorgeous, stunning, everly growing Scindapsus exotica. Look at those leaves. Oh my gosh. I am a sucker for this plant, man. It's just so full, so lush. It's been growing fast in my collection, even though people have given mixed reviews as far as the growth pattern. Over here is what I would call not something funky going on, more like my, right now in the current stage that you see it, a hot mess collection. But we're gonna just go into it. I just have some basically Rhaphidophora tetraspermas cuttings that I have. I'm trying to root it. At first I was gonna take these and put it back in the mother plant, but I changed my mind. I said I'm just gonna create probably a whole new plant from that, not sure. Then I have my, this Monstera Addisonii, which you'll see later, the mother plant. But as you can see, the leaves was really tiny, so I cut it down as far as I could because my growth is with the mother plant. I want the leaves to be bigger. But anyway, I just put it in this propagation. Right here is my Epiprimnum variegata leaf. This thing has not been growing for me at all. I'm trying to root it. I've been trying to root this for months. It's never rooted yet, but keep your fingers crossed. This right here is another, I can't think of the actual name, variety of it. I need to put some water in this thing, right? But this is actually a Philodendron variety. I have the mother plant inside my dining room. I chopped it down. I've already put some of the cuttings back into the plant. I wanted to actually put this back in the plant. But once again, no roots, and I've been doing this for a couple of months. So as I made a mention to you guys, some propagations, please be mindful. Some propagations will be successful, some will not. This is just an example of the propagation not being successful. I've had this literally in water for about like 2 months and I've seen nothing. Will I give up? No, I will not. So let's move on. I'm going to show you this wall, my Philodendron Brazil. Guys, look at this right here. It gave me this beautiful half leaf. And then after that, each one has been like a neon color. But if you go back and follow the trail, and I'm gonna show you guys, in the beginning of the growing season, I wanna say my plant was right here. So it's giving me all of what you just saw as far as my growth this growing season. But if you follow it, follow it all the way down here, it is the big baby right here. My goal, you guys, is actually to have the leaves kind of like wrap itself completely around the room. I'm kind of doing it a little bit with this trail right here. If you can see, this is one of them, but this is the other one, and it ended right there. Very beautiful, very gorgeous in my personal opinion. Down below is my beautiful Philodendron Jungle Boogie. I really wish it would boogie with the growth because it's not really been a big grower for me, but I still love it because also the tiger's tooth, the jaggedness of the leaves, the elongation of the leaves, very beautiful. Also to you guys, as a reminder, if you do happen to see, I'm not sure if the camera picking it up, but if you have some that have these spots, it's not fungus. I think for Jungle Boogies, sometimes they're commonly known for getting these spots on here. Down here, you guys, is my Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. It was growing up, but the trails it was big gaps, large internodes, and I decided to just cut it all back. And ever since I did cut it back, this whole stem right here, you guys, is nothing but new growth. So I'm about to probably add an extension to the moss pole here as it starts to climb up even more. Down here is mine. It hasn't really been doing that much growth for me, but I don't care. I really love this plant, and this is the my Anthurium ploumanii. I actually put two small plants in the pot. There's a juvenile form, so I know it's going to take some time before it really fully develops. Over here, you guys, one of my pride and joys. This was part of one of my shorts I recently did too. This Philodendron silver sword. Look at that. This is all growth from a leaf that had died off. And I'm going to show you something right here. The selector, look at that. Another. And I did show y'all, but I'm going to show y'all again. The root system. So it really likes this leca, this hydroponics. I don't think I'm going to be taking it out. Also too, the new growth right here. That growth point, so beautiful. I love this plant to death. Glad I cut it up. The mother plant is actually inside my home. Right here I have this beautiful Hoya maculata. No, it's not a Hoya. My begonia maculata. Here I go, switching the names again. I had a brain freeze, but I'm back now, guys. But yeah, this is my begonia maculata. This is my pride and joy. This right here where the stems are, just haven't cut it off, is where it actually had bloomed for me. So it's really taken off tremendously. I had to up pot it because I was watering a little bit too much. And you know, this thing loves to stay moisture soil, but not wet. You want to water this plant when its inch of the soil is dry. Down here is my beautiful Hoya abavata. This thing is grown. It hasn't like did a massive growth, but it has developed this part, and I just love, look at that speckling. Isn't it? It's absolutely beautiful. I mean, you got to be out of your mind if you don't love this plant, but I don't know. But I digress. Let me put this back. Okay, let's start right here. This beautiful pink princess. You guys, I've been waiting finally for the price to finally come down for this baby, and it's come down. And I know in some states, not mine though, but in some states you can actually find this in some of your local stores at a very reasonable price. So I've been hearing. I did get this plant as a deal, and ever since I got this plant, you guys, it's given me, when I brought it, it was actually down here. So it's given me these 4 leaves, and it's another one trying to emerge. This thing has been growing very steadily for me. I'm so glad I finally have it part of my collection. I love it, even if it doesn't really give me the variegations, but I think it's trying to. Right here is just the leaves hasn't hardened off yet. This leaf hasn't hardened off, nor has this one. So we'll see. Down here, you guys, is another one of my silver sword propagations where I did the 3 leaves, and it's finally starting to open up. I mean, I love the silver shimmeriness of the leaves. What about y'all? Do y'all get that vibe? Okay, over here, my beautiful Philodendron subobstatum, which is growing wild. And I love this plant because I just love the shape of the leaves. I love the veination, the lines in it. It's very deep green, but you can't deny, oh man, this beautiful back. Look at that red backing. It's stunning. So really, you could view the plant from the front and the back, and you couldn't go wrong. I have to probably put it up on a trellis, because right now I just have it on this bamboo stake to hold it up, but it's kind of starting to get a little top heavy. So I may have to put a moss pole in it. Over here, and for those of you who's been hanging in there with me, God bless you. But this is some time. This right here is my Monstera adansonii, one of my oldest plants. It's almost as tall as me. It was actually tall as me, but I cut it back from what I showed you with the propagation station because the leaves, as you can see right here, for some reason was coming to be small. So I did cut it back. I may actually keep chopping it off because I want to promote the bigger leaves. I mean, but it's very beautiful. I love it. My next plant right here, another pride and joy of mine, is my Philodendron red emerald, which really has exploded in growth. It is my height, you guys. Look at that. it's right here. Hello, how are you? But yeah, it really was down below. And I'm gonna show you something. Right here is where I actually cut it to stimulate some growth. And ever since I did that, if you notice, the stem size did change. This is a much thicker stem, and the leaves has become bigger. So I've been propagating and putting it back in the bottom of this plant right here, starting to become really top heavy. So I got this rock down here for support. Okay, so a sidebar real quick, you guys. It's something that I wanted to share with you earlier on, but it almost slipped my mind. It's not plant related, but I still am interested in hearing your comments below in regards to this. So one of the things that I do in my spare time outside of loving plants is I do crochet, and I just wanted to show you guys some of the things that I did make. And let me know, I just created this pillow. I kind of like crocheted the pillow, but I repurposed a pillow. It was more or less one of those pillows you use for your bed, and I kind of like folded it in half and just created this around. I think it plays off well with the brown. Y'all let me know what you think. And really quick over here in my other chair is just a beautiful yellow and white throw that I kind of created. I think it plays off very well with the red. And this more or less, the design itself was just playing off of the existing yarns that I had left in my collection. So please comment below and just share that. Let me know if you like it or whatever, if I have anybody in the planting world that crochets as well. But back to my beautiful final plant, you guys, is my prize plant, this Philodendron octopipense. Look how tall it is. It's outgrown me, you guys, and I've cut it multiple times. My goal is to have this stake completely covered with the vines. It is touching the ceiling, and I just wanted to show you guys that before I actually cut it. So I am going to cut it down again and propagate it and put it back into this mother plant. I know the leaves aren't, I guess, that big in regards to the planting world, but I don't care. I really love the look of the leaves. I appreciate it, even if it gave me a full tree like of just nothing but these leaf size. I couldn't be more happier. So you let me know if you have this plant in my collection. I know I showed it to you guys a lot throughout my plant journey. So yes, you guys, this pretty much wraps up the video. Let me know if you have any of these plants that I showed you in my sunroom, and also let me know, I'm curious about what you guys have seen, my new creations that I shared with you guys. Let me know your thoughts on that. But yeah, that pretty much wraps it up, you guys. And keep in mind, if you love foliage as much as I do, and you love listening to planty things, definitely subscribe to this channel. Give me a big thumbs up or a thumbs down. Any way you want to vote is okay with me. Enjoy your day wherever you are in the world, and until next time, guys, much love.